Welcome back, guys. So today is a big day. We finally got the call for our Z06 allocation here in Grand Rapids with Berger Chevrolet. We are number 3 on the list. The first order actually got delayed because that gentleman wanted to wait for a Z07. So the second order has been placed and in the system, and we are up next on the allocation. So today, Justin and I are going to drive down to Berger, bring you guys along with us. We're going to spec out our C8 that we're going to be building. Obviously doing another full carbon wide body car, kind of derivative of where the C8 came from, the look currently, but on steroids, I think. So today we're just sitting up here on the computer first before we go into the dealer, taking a look, playing around with the visualizer and the Chevrolet.com website, picking out what color and what specs we want to get on it. Now, normally, we just order a base car because we know we're going to change everything, but usually there's some items that it's more cost effective to order new from the factory because you get a little more benefit rather than doing it in the aftermarket where it might be more cost prohibitive for you to do it, specifically on interior stuff. But in this case, we flip through quite a few different options here. So if you look at the screen and you can see any of it, we've got a couple of these where we went all in on, and we're like, well, if we're going to build it, let's start with something like a 3LZ convertible. We haven't done a convertible yet. In the 70th anniversary finish, so the carbon flash metallic with the ceramic white and red stitching. That one comes out with the bronze wheels, 163,000. Then we were like, well, if we saved a little bit, maybe 40 grand off the top, we went to a 2LZ, something like the Rapid Blue. I had a Rapid Blue already previously in a standard C8. I like that color a lot. So I think it would look really good in the Z06 once it was fully done and built. And I think we showed you guys the chassis number 2 when it got built with the forged carbon and it was painted. You could kind of see what that might look like together, and it was pretty sick. And then I said, well, why don't we look at a full stripped out version, comp seats, that's it, 110,000. Gives us a lot of money to play with in the aftermarket. If I can deal with no heated seats, no ventilated seats, no backup camera, so we lose our Gentex rearview mirror, which to me that's kind of a loser, but we might be able to add that in the aftermarket. And then we looked at an orange and a blue interior combo car. Now, this is one of those things that if we were going to do it, we would probably order it like this. And the reason being is that in order to recreate this interior, it would be super expensive to do so. We know that because we've done full custom interiors on some of these cars before. So if you see, and this picture isn't really great. In real life, it looks a little better, but all of this is blue. So all of the blue leather, blue stitching, the bright blue accents, and you can also get the comp seats in the blue. So it has the blue textile and then blue leather. And I think with an orange exterior, it would really be a wild looking car. And then you throw the wide body kit on it, wheels, or brakes, all that other stuff, and it's a convertible. I think it's kind of a wild option, and that's kind of what we want to do. We don't want to go with a monotone color when we're building something like this. So that's a big consideration. I know Justin and I have been going back and forth on it. I like it, but I'm also a little scared. Right there, that overhead view looks pretty good. I mean, it might be Denver Broncos, I don't know, whatever, but it looks pretty sick. Again, that's the convertible. And when that one's all specced out and done, that one comes in at 132,000. And then we pulled up a silver flare. So I really like this color too. This was another strong running for us. So silver flare, it has yellow accents, yellow stitching. It's just a really good looking car. We have the carbon accents in the front grille. And then also on this one, I clicked the box for painted accents. So if you're going to leave painted accents, to me, that makes it a little less busy with all the things that are going on in the car anyway. I think with a really aggressive aero package and the painted accents kind of disappearing, it makes the car look a little more streamlined. So I really do like that one. So we've got a tough decision. I still don't know what I'm going to pick. I think I'm going to sit down and talk to the guys, see what's on constraint as of today. And today is March 1st. So hopefully for this ordering cycle, everything will be opened up. We won't be constrained with a lot of different things, but there's a lot of stuff out there that we've heard one way or another. So I think right now, let's jump in the truck, drive over to Berger, meet up with Doug and maybe Jeremy, the GM, and sit down with them and see what we can spec out. So we're here, guys, at Berger Chevrolet here in Grand Rapids. Berger is actually a pretty legendary name in the Chevrolet world. Back in the late 60s, the Berger Camaros were all built and created right here in West Michigan. Also, a cool story was back in the early 2000s, before I got started professionally building cars, this is the first place that I came with one of my Camaros that I built, that a dealer actually talked to me after the show and wanted to tap my brain for some ideas for a special edition they were building, which was the Berger Camaro back in the early 2000s. So it's kind of cool to see that all come full circle. We already took delivery of one C8 from here. This will be our second from here. The other C8 that we purchased early on in 2020 was from another dealer. Berger's taking care of us since the last order, so we were able to secure the third allocation. We're going to walk inside, meet Doug. Doug's the sales manager, and walk through our option sheets and see what we pick. Let's go on inside. Hey, Doug.
Hey, Andy.
Good to see you. Hey, Jeremy. Good to see you again. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's order it up, man.
Sounds good.
I get surprised. All right, first big question, Cooper convertible.
Yeah, we kind of went through everything. The only thing I had a question on was that personalized interior plaque. Is that something that is done before it gets here, or is that something that is delivered to us after the fact? Do you know?
It would be on the Carbon Widebody, so it's installed
Okay.
at the factory.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And that's really all we're gonna do.
Okay. Then what we'll do is on the sheet, we'll just have you document what you want on that, so that when we fill that in, it's correct. So,
Okay.
all right, well, that gets us to the summary page already.
Perfect. What do you think?
All right.
We're stuck with it, so.
Hell of a car to get stuck with.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
No problem.
Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
So we're back here in some of the historical part of Berger, showing you guys some of the articles and stuff that have been in magazines. There's a couple pictures of the cars that I had help with some input in back then. Obviously, they've been Dealer of the Year for many years in a row, and a really good local dealer for us to be partnered with. So that wraps up our quick trip. Just sat down and spec'd out a few things with them. You guys will have to wait and see what shows up. We're gonna do the delivery video here when the car arrives. We're hoping it's within a couple months, fingers crossed. But until then, we're gonna probably start to leak out some information about what the wide body will look like, how many we're gonna produce, and how you can order one. And make sure you get in on this special wide body Z06 program that isn't gonna be like anything else on the market.